Ethiopian government is using a law recently passed to freeze the properties of those who oppose the government. I predicted that, by the way, a few months ago when this law was passed. Welcome to my views and news. Thank you for watching the channel. Good to be with you. Three news stories for you. Firstly, some properties have been frozen in Ethiopia. Properties owned by those who are living abroad, who fled Ethiopia, who are wanted in Ethiopia. But all of them are not wanted, I think. Secondly, another kidnapping in a North Showa zone of the Oromia region. When will it stop? Why can't it be stopped? Is Oromia government, is Ethiopian National Defense Force helpless or complicit? Lastly, EU in Eritrea. An EU delegation visited Eritrea around 10 days ago. While Eritrea has not been on good terms with the EU, with the US, it seems that things changing now. Let's start with the first news story, which is about some properties owned by Ethiopians living, staying abroad, which have been frozen by the government. A few weeks ago, Ethiopian parliament passed a law about asset recoveries, about asset beyond means. When that law was passed, I said it was going to be used for political purposes, for political victimizing. So this law should be used in a very transparent manner, because such laws are used in different developing, underdeveloped countries by rulers to crush their opponents, their political rivals. If the law is used in a transparent manner, it can ensure accountability, it can ensure corruption-free society. But problem is that such laws are generally introduced and executed with political agendas behind. Uh, Ethiopian Federal Police has written a letter to an agency which is investigating wealth, assets, and wealth of some people abroad. And the properties owned by some individuals, Ethiopian individuals living abroad, have been frozen. This letter shows. So these properties now cannot be sold, they cannot be transferred, because they're in the names of those Ethiopians who are living abroad, who are critical of the Ethiopian government, very critical. Firstly, Haptamo Ayalio, journalist, Ethio 360 journalist, his property is frozen in Ethiopia. Secondly, Zamad, I think Haptamo is in the US. Zamadkan Bakale, another Ethiopian activist living in Germany, I think, I'm not sure. Orthodox activist, we can call him religious. He's also the victim. His property is frozen too. These two men, I think, have been charged. They were charged by the government a few months ago. Ethiopian prosecutors filed a case against some individuals, accusing them of working to destabilize Ethiopia. Haptamo's name was on the list, I think. Zamadkan's name was on the list. They were charged with terrorism. Third man whose properties are being frozen, I don't think that he was on the list that was prepared last year and submitted to some courts. His name is Lidito Ayaleho. Lidito was not wanted in Ethiopia, I think. He was not charged with terrorism. Are these charges new or some old cases have been reactivated? But his properties have been frozen too. Lidito tried to return to Ethiopia a few weeks ago, but he was not allowed to board a flight from the US for Ethiopia. He was denied boarding by the Ethiopian Airlines. And before his announcement, before his attempt to fly to Ethiopia, he announced that he will return to Ethiopia and start a political struggle, but he was not allowed. Is he a rich man, by the way? Uh, I am not aware of Hidato being a rich man. People say that he is a seasoned politician, believes in peaceful political struggle, but he's not being allowed to return to Ethiopia. Rather, he's being charged with terrorism. So the law passed recently, I think, is now in motion. It could be used against Joar. Does Joar own any properties in Ethiopia? Why is that no action has been taken on Joar while action has been taken on Lidito Ayalo? Is Joar in touch with Prosperity Party behind the scenes? Or similar action on Joar is loading? Or are there no properties in Ethiopia owned by Joar? Secondly, viewers, more kidnapping in North Shore zone of the Oromia, which is very notorious for kidnapping for ransom cases. Vehicles full of passengers are kidnapped in North Shore Oromia. Mostly the vehicles carrying Amharas are kidnapped. The ransom is demanded. Security forces played no role in the release of the people who are kidnapped. Ola, 3 days ago, issued a statement saying that criminal elements, maybe with backing of the government, are responsible for this kidnapping for ransom incidents in North Shore Oromia. And Ola claimed that the bank accounts of the kidnappers are being operated by Ethiopian national defense officers. So E&D officers are operating the accounts, bank accounts, which receive money, ransom money. Another incident in North Shore Oromia, in Vara Jerso, where some workers, laborers were kidnapped. 10 were kidnapped reportedly yesterday. They were busy working for a gypsum factory, uh, extracting raw material for the factory when armed men surrounded them and then they just abducted them. What will happen next? Ransom will be demanded. Families or the factory owners will have to pay ransom. It seemed that kidnapping for ransom has turned into a business in North Shore Oromia. Amhara groups always accuse Ola that Ola is behind the kidnapping for ransom. Ola denies. These incidents show that either Oromia government and Ethiopian military, federal police, Oromia police, either they're helpless or they're complicit. Because now so many incidents are happening, questions are being asked about the performance of this government. Lastly, viewers, EU and Eritrea have not been on good terms. Eritrea has been accusing EU countries, US, of plundering Africa's rich resources. And Eritrea remained under sanctions imposed by US and its European partners. But recently we saw some change in EU policy towards Eritrea. EU wants to now engage Eritrea. Italy, some other countries, they want to engage Eritrea. US wants to engage too, I think. Though Trump government so far has not disclosed its strategy, its foreign policy towards Eritrea. An EU delegation visited Eritrea around 10 days ago. It was led by EU MD for Africa, whose name is Mrs. Rita. EU delegation visited Asmara, held meetings with Eritrean officials. The meetings, discussions focused on regional issues, economic issues, and human rights related issues. Importantly, EU tried to topple Isasawaki's government, I think. US tried as well. They failed. Now they have realized that the best strategy is that they should engage the Eritrean government, Eritrean president. Thanks for watching.